However, let's just switch focus to other matters. This has to do more with a court case, particularly on something we are more subject matter we are more familiar with. Over a couple of months or years that we have seen Nnamdi Kanu in the news repeatedly, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra. And it appears that at this time, it has a victory to be celebrated in court. The court awards 1 billion naira compensation to him, also orders the army and the federal government to apologize to him in 3 national dailies for infringement on his fundamental human rights following the September 10, 2017 military invasion of his house. Justice Benson Aya, who gave the orders, while delivering judgment on the suits filed by Kanu against the federal government, the army, and 6 others for allegedly violating his fundamental human rights, declared the raid as unlawful. Following the order, the court counsel to the army, Amos Story, Wednesday, said the military will respond after studying the judgment. Now, to this matter, gentlemen, first, can we say the submission of the courts perhaps signals a level of empathy to agitation for secession, knowing fully well that when you hear Nnamdi Kanu, you know it is more associated with cry for the people of Biafra. That's more of a secession in the southeast. Can we say that now perhaps the court is now giving empathy to cries of secession in one way or the other, Dr. Dayo?
Yeah, I wouldn't say that the court is tending towards that. Rather, the court, as we all know, normally give judgment based on facts that are being presented to it.
Okay. And
then based on how each of the lawyers were able to put across their argument and the understanding of the case to the judge, the presiding judge of that court. However, all this hula-baloo about Mazi Kanu can be ascribed to idiocy of government as well as the kakistocratic thinking of those in power. How do I mean? Idiocy in terms of not addressing an issue the way, as is springing up. Not nibbing the bud at the right time. All right? For a very long time, the Southeasterners have been shouting, you are undermining our integrity. You are not carrying us along in your government. You are, one way or the other, ostracizing us from the country you claim that we all belong to. It's either you have us included or you allow us to go. All right? And they have been talking about it. As a government, what are you supposed to do? Number one, if you are saying you are not seeing development in your area, can't you ask your governors? You have Umpadek there, you have NDD, we're all aware of the scenario of off the mic. We're all aware of that scenario. How much money? Do you understand? All you need to do as a government is call these people before the whole thing had gotten to this level. Call them, show their facts and figures. Then call their representatives, the governors, the members of House of Reps, members of the Senate, the House of Assembly, those that are in some of the MDGs that are operating there and all that. Show their facts and figures if truly you want to be sincere. All right? And you wouldn't have seen all this we are seeing now. Kakistocratic thinking in terms of pretending as if you don't know what you're supposed to do. It's just like you as the anchor of this program now doing some things that are detrimental to the status you are putting on here, or dishing out what is far below your professional ethics. Okay, so we need to be looking at all these issues in proper perspective, so that we'll be able to know where, as a country, are we at, and then how are we not going to get ourselves to this situation again. My brother, it is sickening. It is sickening to be hearing all these. Sunday case is still there. This Nnamdi Kanu that have been awarded $1 billion, the case is not ended yet, because the army has said, okay, we're going to study it. So I think for us not to be showing our stupidity to the whole world again, let us see how we are going to manage this situation and solve this problem once and for all, so that our nation can face what we are supposed to face in terms of growth and development.
Okay, talking about not spreading our dirty clothing out there for people to see, do you also share with him his perspective that we should look for a way to bring these issues to a roundtable conversation? And do you think perhaps this court judgment might avail more listening ears from the part of the IPOB group, wanting a dialogue, a proper dialogue down to whatever it is the government has to say, and more of a conversation between both parties? Do you think this is a furtherance to that?
My personal opinion here, I think this court judgment is what it is. Legally speaking, they looked at the merits of the case, like he said, and the arguments by the lawyers, and the court saw that yes, the federal government violated Nnamdi Kanu's fundamental human rights. Let me correct the first thought that it means the court is supporting IPOB. No, there are two different things. This is a legal case based on the facts brought to the court. Okay. Because now the 1 billion is the major news. The court also refused to listen to Kanu's lawyers in the fact that he was extradited for Kenya. I said it's not under their jurisdiction.
Yes,
there were other things that were not acceded to. IPOB or federal government come together. No. Going by experience. The court case doesn't say the government should go and sit down with IPOB to discuss ways forward.
But sometimes you can settle out of court. There are cases that you settle out of court.
But yes, but what we're talking about here is that this will not in any way contribute to breaking the deadlock or anything. I don't see the federal government saying, okay, because of this court ruling, let's come back and sit on a round table.
So you're saying
if anything, I see that they are going to appeal this judgment, because this is just the beginning. And it's a state high court. This is not the end of the case. Do you understand me? So I think we should sit back and watch how things play out, instead of jumping the gun to think that, okay, the federal government is going to dip his hand into his coffers and give.
In a situation of sitting back and relaxing, it appears that people from the southeastern part of Nigeria can't do a lot of sitting back and relaxing on the issue of sit-at-home order, because before now, that has been much more enforced by IPOB group in that region, and people get to be victims of, say, bullying, say, insecurity, whatever, kidnapping, as the case may be there. Now, the court has ruled in favor on fundamental human rights violation. That case, this, in other ways, does not stop the sit-at-home order that has always been enforced.
That's what I'm saying. We should take every issue individually.
But even if I were, you see, if I were IPOB, although I know that for a while now they've stopped the sit-at-home order.
Reports have it that they enforced it, they
put it on hold.
Yes.
Yeah. But if I were IPOB and I see that I'm having all those crowd in support of my activities, honestly speaking, all they need do is to turn themselves into a political party and then put themselves in positions of authority to the extent that they will now be able. I was saying something the other time. You see, for the past few years, I've been engaging mostly in political agitation. But somehow I was discussing on a particular platform that day. I didn't know where that thing just came out. I didn't know how it came over me. That look, when you engaging in political agitation, you are just there to be providing solutions. You are not part of those that will take decision.
No.
So for you to ensure that your political agitation becomes successful, you have to also engage in political participation.
Very key.
Very key. So if IPOB sees that they have that kind of huge followership, join a political party
And make it count.
and then make it count there. When you join a political party, you enter the structure from the world upwards. Then you now put your people in places of authority whereby they will be able to execute what you are demanding up to the Senate. You will get your people up to the Senate, and then they can get to the Senate and cause disruption. You will get to House of Reps, cause disruption. You get to your houses of assembly, cause disruption. Disruption in terms of a kind of a paradigm shift in the way they think, in the way they look at issues, in the way they allocate resources. Do you understand? So I think the best thing that IPOB can do now is to sit down, give themselves a good assessment, evaluate what you have been doing before. What has it yielded you? Has it yielded you results or hardship? Then you now be able to see where to focus on, which is political participation, and then put yourself in places of authority.
Okay. Okay, now we're
Sorry,
going to press into...
to add to that, this political participation, we are getting to another political time again. Political participation is key. We might talk here from now till
eternity. Eternity. What is tomorrow?
As long as we do not participate, we do not vote. These people who know, the people we are complaining about, are busy already working on how to return or get their people in place. We are here analyzing.
Analyzing what?
Analysis do not solve problems. Getting to work solve problems. So to add to that and to tell everybody out there, viewers, please participate.
Go to your wards.
Participate.
Go to your wards and participate.
ROSVP register.
For instance, I was in my ward. I was in my ward 3 days ago now to attend the meeting. And I gained a lot. Because those people that are sitting there, you think you are not getting. No, you will gain from them. When one man spoke, I never knew that man can talk like that. He spoke and I stood up to clap. Do you understand? So let everybody go back to his or her wards and participate. Not for anything, but for the future of our country. Because Nigeria belongs to all of us.
Thank you, gentlemen. Just before we round up on the show, we're talking about the courts awarding of 1 billion naira and ordering the federal government to apologize to Nnamdi Kanu, leader of IPOB, for violating his fundamental human right. That happens to be the most recent development on issues that have lingered between Nnamdi Kanu and the federal government. However, where it all started from was charges of terrorism on Nnamdi Kanu, and that has not even been discussed till now. Other things around it, it has just been like a second version of discussion. We're not basically hitting what exactly needs to be hit. However, we'll take a break. We'll listen to the lawyers that represented Nnamdi Kanu and the federal government at court during the course of the week, how they both responded to the charges of terrorism against Nnamdi Kanu. Afterwards, we'll conclude this conversation on this show. You can always send your text messages in. We'll take them shortly. Please stay with us.
The court is duty bound to look at that application, take argument, and then decide it one way or the other before the matter can proceed. And of course, our application is fundamental, it's intrinsic to this trial. And the judge agreed with us, telling the prosecution, there's no way you can tell me to start trial. What if we start trial and then the appellate court finally quashes whatever we do here? So she was right. That is the legal position. And because of that, she has determined that she will take first this application to quash the entire counts in the 15th count, and then if there's still any case to try at all, that is when we now get to the, well, cross the bridge after getting there.
One thing that is very interesting that Nigerians should be looking out for is the fact that one of the counts suggesting that the defendant, Nnamdi Kanu, is a member of IPOB, and he vehemently denied being a member of IPOB. That is very curious, and we urge Nigerians to see us through how we are going to prove all those charges against the defendants in no time to come. And those are our feelings, and we hope that all this approach will come to an end someday.
Welcome back. Quite a conversation we're having here on the leader of IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, and the recent updates on court ordering the Nigerian Army and federal government to basically pay him a huge amount of money, 1 billion naira, for emphasis sake, and of course to apologize to Kanu for the violation of human rights on his part. However, it appears that this conversation has lingered for so long. This particular issue, the court attended to during the course of the week, was started far back from 2017, September 10. That might want to tell you that it looks like this whole discussion keeps going on and never stops. We thought we had seen the end of it until the Nigerian Army, Counsel to the Army, Amos Story, said the military would respond after studying the judgment. I don't know, does it take, how long does it even take to study a well-articulated judgment? You know, this in particular is not the major issue. Terrorism is the major issue. However, this that is even a sub-issue needs you to take time to go study before you now respond to. If you are taking time to study and respond to a minor issue, how long will it not take to respond to the whole issue? Does this not in any way depict more like ensuring a deliberate attempt to linger, to make sure to stretch this conversation until...
Sorry to interrupt you, and
I don't know,
because we don't have time anymore. To be fair to the whole issue, it brings two things into play here. Yes, we commend the judiciary for taking this decision, but at the same time too, it also throws light on the fact that the wheels of justice in Nigeria turns excruciatingly very slow. A high-profile case like this involving the federal government and Kanu that is known around the world can linger for 2017 till 2022 or 2021 rather. What do you think happens to minor cases of other people? Do you know that some people actually await trial for much longer time than if they were even found guilty, what they would be given as whatever? But then again too, I'm not supporting the army, but you are saying the main issue. The court has not decided on the main issue, but so you cannot say the army is trying to linger. It is because this case has been decided on, that is why they are going to study, and yes, they have to study. It is legal. It is not something, it is not newspaper that you read and decide to answer. No, they will have to study it. But then again, it brings to fore that justice in the judicial system in Nigeria needs to be revamped. That's what the assembly should be doing, and not talking about direct primaries and the rest.
Okay. You see, if you look at this case, you cannot say it is political or it is criminal. It is in between. But whether you like it or not, it has some tonations that it will take experts in communication to pin it on a particular concept.
Subject.
Do you understand? So to that extent, whatever is coming out, either from the court or from the side of Kanu or from the side of government, we should also take it as such. All right? It is different. Like I said, it is different from a total criminal case or a total political case.
Not like a civil.
It's even beyond civil. That, you see, there are some utterances Kanu has made. There are some activities that had happened, which was labeled terrorism. And even those who that are causing real, that are engaging in real terrorist activities in Nigeria, they are there. We know. Nothing is happening to them. Their names are even mentioned. Nobody was even talking about them.
Nobody has taken them.
Are you with me? So also, you know, we also say, if you know you have that kind of crowd, turn it into a political platform.
Okay.
And then, so this issue, we just have to be following it the way it is, because everybody is trying to use their common sense.
Sit back and see how to.
It's a seasonal film. Seasonal film. We are now in season 1, act 2, or thereabouts. To continue like that. Well, you know, we have not even touched Igboho.
This movie is far too long for us to address today. Later on the show today.
Maybe we call it, instead of calling it Nollywood, we call it Galaxywood.
I don't know what name to give that. However, it's been an awesome time on the show. This is where we draw the curtains of the show. My guests have been Dr. Dayo Kayode and also Mr. Phenom on the show. It's first time, however, it's been very, very impactful. Thank you so much for coming, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Sincerely appreciate your comments, your thorough feedbacks, and all on social media, and of course, on text message. But unfortunately, we can't take a lot of these things anymore because we're behind time. But join us again, same station, same place, next time, next Saturday. I remain Tife. And don't forget, it is your right to vote. Please do so accordingly. Bye for now.